Yo, you're listening to Everyday Superpower, the place where we talk body language, we talk attraction, repulsion, we talk verbal communication, and we talk game over and out, alright? We got two links in the description of this video. One of them will take you through to the playlist I have composed of my own material, so it will teach you how to read body language from A to B. It's a YouTube playlist, so it's completely free. It's entitled The Catalogue of Body Language, or somewhat along the lines of that. Second to that, there's a link to my Patreon. My Patreon allows you to join me in observing in real time, first time real dates. Okay, I'm going to show you attraction cues, repulsion cues, and I'm going to give you a little bit of an insight as to what's successful and what's not, and we're going to work it out together. And you're going to internalize that information, and you're never going to be able to garner that information elsewhere. I swear to you. Now, let's talk. It's gonna be quite a deep one. This one, it might be above a few people's heads, but I want to give some food for thought on this. This is a different level of seduction, attraction, and magnetism. We're delving into the spiritual realms on this one. This one has to be respected. So we got the human biology, we got the primitive, we got the brilliance of the human mind and the conscious, okay? And then we got a deeper undercurrent, we've got a vibration which exists outside of the realm of rational thought. But you can create an air of mystique in who you are and your character that differentiates you as a being that is above any human force. And it sounds ridiculous, but when we apply particular methods, the understanding of a woman's imagination, the fascination a woman has to understand you and who you are for not only survival purposes, but due to the fact we as humans have brains that like to work stuff out. It gives us pleasure, it's dopamine, and it's a confirmation of our own intelligence, our own self-perceived intelligence when we work them out. If we can't work somebody out, and if there is a depth of mystery and ambiguity and more underneath the surface as to what somebody lets on, and through the passive and generalized means of speaking and understanding of the person, i.e., their understanding of you, their observation of you, their touch, how they know you inside and out, you start to enter the realms of the spiritual. And when we speak of being a man, we want to be the dominant entity, as the feminine is the submissive entity, the submissive energy and frequency, whereas we are the man. We are the king, we sit above and beyond. When we elevate that higher, blasphemous or not, we can become angelic, we can become godlike to a person in this position of dominance. And when we speak of being seductive and finding out how to be seductive to women as a general, and how we can enchant women, and how we can spark and utilize this fantastic imagination and fascination the woman has for a man who has so much but gives so little, we can realistically establish a cult-like following. It is what it is. That's not to be said in a creepy manner, because if you look at celebrities, if you look at fantastic artists, fantastic thinkers, philosophers, and people that attract attention through some depth of character or some extremity of character, you will see a natural cult-like following start to exist within the space of that person, and it establishes momentum and continues to grow, such as the social engineering creates that magnetism. This is the psychology. We as human beings need to believe in something, and if we believe that this person is magic, and women love magic, right? Women love astrology, and you may or may not, but I would recommend finding some information on esoteric understandings, esoteric occult literature, understanding the metaphorical value that exists within religious texts and scripts, understanding why people may believe, understanding why people may be faithful, and naturally having that apply to your communications with others through your own belief, through your own experience on planet Earth. You will develop a spiritual quality, a magical quality that puts you in a space unlike any other. You become supernatural. You see this game? I'm just going to leave that there. We might continue delving into this topic. Let me give you some insight. I hear this on a regular through my communications with people, how I can make people feel, how I understand people, how I make people feel weird and bizarre. And supernatural is a term used because it's been referred to in description of myself. People will ask you, are you a spiritual person? I understand that you're not necessarily a Christian, but do you believe in this, that, and the fourth? And I'll give them honest conversation. I won't reference it. But when we come to the way we work as humans and how we work biologically and how I reserve my seed and so on and so forth due to a literal nutrient basis, the expelling of nutrients, whereas my body would need to recover that, and it creates a tiredness in oneself. It's also applicable in a spiritual manner. What is mine is me. And what my purpose, biologically speaking, as an animal means is that I should hold on to certain things wisely. And this is the knowledge of understanding that you come to understand through your own life's path and through application of certain literature which you might come across as far as the opinions of others are concerned. And then the years go by and you forget where you initially learnt these certain tidbits, and it just becomes part of you and your personal philosophy. And when you can speak, not necessarily in a intentionally vague manner, but because the offshoot of conversation can be so vast and wide and such a broad spectrum as to what fine detail and nook and cranny you can go into when discussing these things. You become a universe of communication. You stir the imagination up of others as to where they can ask you anything and get into any space within that broad, open landscape you have just put before them, as opposed to talking about your friends or talking about what you've done last weekend. Do you see where I'm coming from? There is a spiritual basis that exists within this communication that I have not discussed on this channel as of yet, but I personally am starting to understand it and experience it. and uncover this, and I will talk more about this in due time. And on that note, I'm signing out. Click like and subscribe. Peace.